Welcome back to Command Priority. My name is Theo. I'm here to talk to you about the Dragon. He is one of my absolute favorite commanders, one I've had for a long time, and one that I've probably put the most money out of any deck in my collection in. And it's just one that's always just been one of my favorites. And everybody, I think, at one point builds an Dragon or knows somebody that's building an Dragon, and I'm not here to, I guess, tell you how much different and special mine is, because I'm sure there's lots of cards in here that are in almost every Dragon deck. But if I can at least show you a card or two today that maybe you haven't seen before or haven't seen in Dragon, then I will have done my job. So, with any 5 color deck, I feel like you need to start out with a great mana base. And in this one, there's a few special lands, but they are some that are more the meat and potatoes, I guess. In this, I have a full set of duels in here, just because they're duels. You don't really get any better than that. So we've got a full set of duels. Those are great to have, fixing colors, giving you what you need when you need it. I've got a few triomes. Everyone needs a command tower. Mana Confluence. But yeah, three triomes, Ketria and Zaitor's Proving Ground. Need a Cavern of Souls in any tribal deck, especially one like this where people love to be able to counter some big dragon that I'm trying to get on the board. Some Shocklands, Sacred Foundry, Temple Garden, Overgrown Tomb, Breeding Pool, Stomping Ground, Steam Vents, Blood Crypt, and you've got some of your fetch lands, Bloodstained, Windswept Heath. Then I was able to get my hands on the 5 dragon scales. I had to have it for the Dragon, because from Tarkir was one of my happiest times this year, because these came out and I just couldn't help but get those. And then a Wooded Foothills. 2 of the lands that I really love, that I think that any person who runs a dragon deck would know and have, or have some stories about, are these 2. One's new, Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon, and then you have Haven of the Spirit Dragon. And I can't tell you the number of times that Haven has been great for me. Someone kills my old Gnawbone and I'm able to sack this, get it back in my hand, swing, get a Dragon trigger, put old Gnawbone on the field, and make 30 treasures, and it always feels good. But Maelstrom can be just as good to go and get a dragon that you need right then, put it in your hand, and these 2 are just invaluable in any dragon deck, no matter what colors. If you're running 5, you're running 1. I've got these same 2 in my monocolor dragons and my 2-color dragons, and then of course in Dragon. Let's see, moving on, do some artifacts. I have quite a few artifacts. Really, in any hand with this, I want to have 3 lands and then some type of ramp, whether it be artifact ramp or a spell that goes and gets me some more lands. Anything that just helps get me more lands on the battlefield as quickly as possible. And these, I got all signed by Dan Frazier at MagicCon Atlanta. Took a long time in the line, though. I had to wait in the line for the line, as the guy called it, because the queue was full. So he let like 30 of us wait outside of the line, and so it was the line for the line. But I was able to get all these signed by Dan Frazier. But you got Rakdos, Felwar, Arcane, Talisman Impulse, Simic Signet, Soul Ring, and Gruul Signet. Then you've got a Chromatic Lantern, which I would run especially in any 5-color deck. Dragon's Horde, can't go wrong with the Great Hinge, and our Carnelian Orb of Dragonkind, which is great just for giving something haste that I need to have haste so I can do what I need to do with it. Plenty of artifact ramp for any dragon deck. Let's see, we'll go with enchantments next. Enchantments, we've got Rhythm of the Wild, Rhystic Study, Garruk's Uprising, Dragon Tempest, Mirari's Wake. Had to put Dracogenesis in here, Temur Ascendancy, and Smothering Tithe. Some of these are just ones that some people hate. We won't point them out or anything. Then just some haste, Teamer Ascendancy, Rhythm of the Wild, which that one also doubles as card draw. This is also some haste, card draw, just mana acceleration, and then Dracogenesis. After I show you everything, we'll go through some of my favorite lines that I have in here. There's only a few combos, nothing too crazy. More ramp, Nature's Lore, Skyshroud Claim, Explorer, Spoils of Victory, Farseek, 3 visits. These are 2 that I don't really see in Ur-Dragon lists, but that have, I don't know why. I can't tell you why, because they are great every time I play them. Majestic Genesis is reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the greatest mana value of a commander you own on the battlefield or in the command zone. You may put any number of permanent cards from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's great. We have a 9 mana commander, so you can imagine you're gonna flip 9 and 7 of them are permanents, and you're just going to be in a good spot, whether you get 7 dragons or 3 dragons and a bunch of lands or some artifact ramp, or it puts you in a good spot. The other one is Escape to the Wilds. I also do not see it in any lists hardly at all, but sometimes playing this deck, if you've ramped like you need to, sometimes you have a hand and you've got a couple lands, and then you draw this and you're wanting dragons, right? You're wanting them, but they're not coming. This is a perfect way of getting access to cards till your end of your next turn, and they're just there for you to use. Yes, your opponents know what you have, but they're there, they're available, and it's been invaluable every time I've played it. Going back though, just ramp, I don't see Spoils of Victory in a lot of lists either, and this art is a more expensive version. I wanted it to match the 3 visits here, but it lets you go get any land type, and in a 5-color deck, why would you not like that? But again, it's not something I see in a lot of lists. I only run a couple tutors. One of them you see there, demonic. The other one's vampiric, which we're about to go over, but not a ton of those, but enough. Instance, some removal, Assassin's Trophy, some interaction to keep my dragon safe. Everybody loves Cyclonic Rift, that vamp tutor we were talking about, Teferi's Protection, Swords to Plowshares, Worldly Tutor, cool offer you can't refuse, and then a Mana Drain. Now this is another card, Smuggler's Surprise. It's not a card I see a lot of in general, but it's not a card I see a lot of at all in Ur-Dragon lists. But it is awesome if you've got some dragons in your hand, and on this guy's end step, you can cast this and put 2 of them into play. You're going to be able to swing on your turn. You're going to get what you need out of those dragons on your turn, and nobody really had an opportunity to do anything about it, and it's great. And finally, the creatures. Every dragon deck needs Roman Throne. Old Gnawbone, Ancient Gold Dragon, Urani of the Unwritten, Udvara Hellkite, Dragon Speaker Shaman, Twin Flame Tyrant. Baitor Kendall has been a really cool addition since Tarkir Dragonstorm. I don't see it in a lot of lists, but if I've got a board of stuff that meets that, even the requirement of just drawing a card, it's worth it. But there have been times that I've flipped into this, had a Miram out, got 2 of them, and then went to end step and cut everybody's life in half, and then cut everybody's life in half again, and it felt good, not gonna lie. Sarkhan, Soul of Flame, that is great when it's on the battlefield and you do that with Urani, and he can attack. So even if Urani doesn't have haste, you can still get your ETB of Urani. Have Sarkhan become a copy. Sarkhan swings, get the attack trigger. It's great. It's also great with Miram to get more copies of the dragons that you're playing. Tiamat, of course, Scourge of Alcus, Terror of the Peaks, burn everybody to the ground. Ancient Silver Dragon, Dragon Lord Jamoka just locks everybody out on my turn, which is great. Hellkite Courser to help get Dragon into play. Paluth for mana, Ancient Copper for mana. Two-headed Hellkite, which I love in this deck, but it sucks that it doesn't have a foil printing, at least not that I know of. I've spent a lot of time trying to foil this thing out, and it's a dragon that just does not have a foil printing, and that just bugs me. Goldspan Dragon, Meringue River Regent, Rivers of the Claw, Birds of Paradise, Oracle of Moldiah. Also another card that you probably don't see in a lot of Dragon lists, but it's great. Putting extra lands into play, even if you get to see what my next card is, it's not going to matter. Ancient Brass Dragon, Lathless Dragon Queen, Rith Liberated Primeval, of course, Miram Sentinel Worm, and Balefire Dragon. Every one of these serves a good purpose and is great in this deck. But now I want to go over a couple of things that I like to try and pull off with this deck. So I already talked about the Sarkhan, which is great with a lot of things. I mean, if you can have him become a copy of Old Gnawbone and make more treasures. If you can have him become a copy of Ureni and get extra Ureni triggers. Miram, extra dragons. Goldspan, extra treasures. Two-headed Hellkite, extra card draw. Extra treasures. Card draw, extra burn, mana. You do it with that too. Have extra triggers on Baitor. I mean, all of those are great. Another interaction I really like in this deck. I mean, everybody knows burning everybody down with Terror of the Peaks or Scourge of Alcus. Or, let me just dig it out here. I mean, some good interactions. Or with Dragon Tempest. I mean, those are there to burn your opponents out. But an interaction I don't see a whole lot of that I really like is going to be this. Dracogenesis, Meringue River Regent, and Miram Sentinel Worm. So, if you have this in hand, if you have your Meringue in hand, hell, even Miram in hand, and you can say off a Dragon trigger, get Dracogenesis out, put Miram out, put Meringue River Regent out, get a copy of Meringue River Regent. So this will trigger, you bounce something of your, or two things of your opponent's. The copy enters, bounce another thing on one of your opponents, bounce the original Meringue back to your hand. Put it back out again with Dracogenesis. Do the same thing. Bounce two, get a copy, use one of the copies, bounces on something else, bounce Meringue back to your hand. So you can pretty much just make everybody put all non-land permanents back in their hand. And then you end up with a board full of copies of Meringue River Regent. And it's great. Another one that I really like that is more common in Dragon lists. Man, I love Ureni. It's been a great addition. It's great in my Miram deck too. That's not the one I'm talking about. It's just good. But Ancient Gold Dragon. And then the one everybody knows, is. Well, where did I put it? Put it in here. Yeah, Dragon Tempest. Dragon Tempest and Ancient Gold Dragon. You swing with Ancient Gold Dragon. Do good on your die roll. Make a bunch of copies, or make a bunch of 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature tokens, and then if you hit 20 of them, then you're going to have 20 triggers of 20 because of Dragon Tempest, and just burn everybody to the ground. So this is my expensive Dragon, at least that's what I call it. It's my baby. I have spent a lot of time and money over the last probably 4 years putting this together and playing it as much as I'm able to. I try and keep it to tables where I think that it's fair and not beating up on anybody with it. But it's a great deck, and you'll always have a good time with it. And if anyone has any questions on what I've shown you here today, I will link my deck list in the description, so you can go look that up on Moxfield. I have another Dragon list that's more of a budget list. It's still not, sub $200 or anything, but it is a lot cheaper than this one and a lot more accessible, and it's still very powerful. And a lot of the cards in here that I showed that aren't cards that I see are still in that list, and they perform beautifully. With that done, I'm still planning on doing another podcast this week, hopefully, if my PlayStation secret layers get in. If they get in, I'll be doing an unboxing of those. And then I would like to do a deck tech on Kratos and Atreus, because I have them together. They're up there on the shelf. But I just don't want to do it until I get the PlayStation secret layers in. And following that deck tech, we'll just see what happens. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Command Priority. My name is Theo. And remember, make the plays, be the problem. See you next time.